Hi everyone, my name is Kimberlee and I'm going to be taking you for your Pilates class today. If anything just does not feel right, either regress to an easier level, which I will give you, or you can even just rest, have a bit of a stretch, and we won't be in any particular exercise for too long, so you won't miss out on too much. So we're going to start with our roll downs. And get a little bit of deeper abdominal connection happening. We're going to take a couple of breaths to switch on the Pilates minds, and then we'll get into the workout. So I'll get you to stand with your feet hip distance apart. Just make sure that they're parallel and our tripods are on. Knees are soft, just unlock the knees. We've got our pelvis in a neutral position. We've got a front body ribs to hips connection. Shoulder blades at the back of the body, they're drawing down in a V toward the tailbone. We're relaxed, but at the same time open through the chest and the collarbones. The back of the neck is long, crown of the head reaching up toward the ceiling. Let's take a couple of breaths. So we're going to inhale through the nose. We want to feel the rib cage expand wide or laterally. We call that lateral breathing. Then as we exhale, I want you to sigh out through the mouth. It's a little bit more forceful exhale. Let's do that again. Inhale through the nose. And exhale, sigh it out. We'll practice our deeper abdominal connection. So pelvic floor, you feel that lifting up, zipping up. I might use the cue during the class, zip up or lift up. And then your lower abdominals. Imagine from hip bone to hip bone, drawing across towards each other. Then I want you to flatten that area just below the belly button, flatten that area down toward the spine. So we draw up and then we draw in, across and flatten. And I'll also refer to that area as your T-zone, just representing a capital T on the pelvis from hip bone to hip bone, the horizontal line, the deeper abdominals, and from pubic bone up to meet that horizontal line, that represents your pelvic floor. Let's put all that together now. Let's take an inhale breath. And then as you exhale, I just want you to switch on the T-zone, so drawing up and in. And two more times, inhale, breathing wide into the rib cage, exhale, T-zone on. And one more time. Now we'll move into our roll downs. So from our perfect posture, inhale. Then as you exhale, T-zone is on. We soften the knees, drop chin to chest. Start to round the upper body forward. It's like you're peeling your spine off an imaginary wall behind you. Soften the knees as much as you need to almost allow the fingertips to get to the floor. Inhale at the bottom, and then exhale. Start to restack the spine, one vertebra at a time. As you near the top, shoulder blades draw down and back. Head is the last thing to lift. Inhale. Exhale, dropping chin to chest. So you just want to allow the arms to fall wherever they fall. So head, neck, shoulders, arms, loose, heavy, relaxed. Inhale at the bottom, exhale. We still want to feel lifted through the center and supported through the center. And last time, chin to chest. Upper body rounds forward. And then it's stretched right down the back of the body. And then we lift from the center. And standing up nice and tall. And I'll get you to come down onto your back. We'll start with our feet on the floor, knees bent, feet are hip distance apart. So just like when we set up in our standing position, let's just take a moment to find our neutral spinal position. So for most of us in this position, we've got a small natural curve in our lower back. If you place your hands on the pelvis, fingers on the pubic bone, heel of the hands on the hip bones, they should be at the same height or in line with each other. So you can tuck and tilt the pelvis a few times if you need to. Make sure the knees are pointing straight up toward the ceiling. They're not splaying in or out. Now just get you to rest your arms by your side, palms down, shoulder blades drawing down and back. A little tuck in of the chin. Let's take a couple of breaths there so you feel the back of the rib cage heavy on the mat. You feel the tailbone heavy on the mat. This is your neutral spinal position. We also use a position called an imprinted spinal position. So if you take your, or if you choose to, you can use your hands on the pelvis or not, that's up to you. But think of the lower abdominals. We're using those muscles to press the lower back down toward the floor without lifting the tailbone. Good, and then just release back to neutral. That small natural curve in the lower back. And again, press the lower back down toward the mat using your abdominals, but without curling the tailbone up off the mat. Let's do that 2 more times. So it's quite a subtle change in position. Good, and last time, from neutral to imprint. Good, and resting arms by your side again. We're going to move into a knee float to start with. So we're going to inhale, T-zone is on. As you exhale, we're going to lift one leg to tabletop and then place that foot back on the floor. So exhale, other leg, lift up to tabletop and inhale, lower back down. Exhale to lift, inhale to lower, and keep alternating sides. So as you come up into tabletop, we want to make sure that the knee is directly above the hip, and we want to have the shin parallel to the ceiling. Even weight through the pelvis on the mat, so we're not rocking side to side. There's no transfer of weight through the pelvis. So T-zone is switched on. That'll help to stop the rocking side to side. Still quite relaxed through the upper body. And let's do one more each side. So exhale to lift, inhale to lower. And now lift that first leg back up to tabletop. Deepen your abdominal connection and lift the second leg to tabletop. And then from there, I just want you to hold there and breathe. So there should be a little bit of work in this position. We're drawing the lower abdominals down toward the spine. Again, relaxing the upper body. So try not to hold any tension through the shoulders or the neck. Making sure that as it starts to get a little bit more challenging, that you don't bring the knees in too close toward the chest. You're going to lose a lot of the work there. Just keep breathing. You've got your ribs to hips connection. Couple more breaths. Still drawing the lower abdominals down toward the spine. On your next exhale, we're going to tap one foot down toward the floor and inhale back to tabletop, other side. Exhale to tap. Inhale back to tabletop. And we just keep alternating sides. So your non-working leg, which is staying at tabletop, just make sure that, again, it's at your perfect tabletop and that we don't bring the knee in over the chest. Couple more each side. No tension through the upper body. And last one. Lower one foot at a time, back down onto the mat. I'm going to go through the same sequence, a few less repetitions though. I'm going to add some upper body curling. So interlace your fingers. Take your hands behind your head and just let your head rest quite heavily in the hands. Elbows slightly forward. We've got our ribs to hips connection. This time, as we lift one leg up into tabletop, we're going to add an upper body curl. So inhale, T-zone tight. Exhale, tabletop, curl the head and shoulders up off the mat, and inhale to lower upper and lower body, other side. Exhale, and inhale to lower. So as we curl, ribs towards the hips, we're going to take our eye gaze forward. Chin is tucked in, shoulder blades are still drawing down and back. And rather than thinking about getting the shoulders as high as we can, I want you to think of drawing the ribs closer to the hips, and that will give you the height. Exhale to lift, Inhale to lower. Every time we lift the leg, we're keeping that even weight through the back of the pelvis. Every time we curl, we're drawing the lower abdominals down toward the spine. One more each side. And now this time, lift one leg to tabletop as you curl. Lift the other leg to tabletop. Legs stay stationary. And we just lower and curl with the upper body. So we curl ribs to hips, eye gaze forward. Elbows are just slightly forward, ever so slightly, so you can see them in your peripheral vision. Lower abdominals drawing down toward the spine. Two more. Curl a little higher. Good. On this next one, hold the curl. Exhale to tap one leg down. Inhale back to tabletop. Other side. Exhale, tap. Inhale, lift. So we're alternating legs. See if we can curl a little higher. Lower abdominals drawing down and in. Good, let's do one more each side. Last one. Lower the upper body and lower one leg at a time back down onto the mat. We'll set up for pelvic curls. So we start with our feet hip distance apart, parallel, tripods on, arms reaching beside you, palms facing down, neutral spinal position. And before we start our curls, we're just going to practice one more time, going from our neutral spinal position into the imprinted position, because this is the very start of the pelvic curl. So from hip bones and pubic bone being level on the same plane, pressing the lower back down into the mat. Feel pubic bone lift just ever so slightly higher than the hip bones, and then release back to neutral. Two more times. Good, and last time. On the next one, I'm going to squeeze the glutes. I'm going to roll the lower back into the mat and then continue to roll the hips up off the mat, rolling up one vertebra at a time until you're in your shoulder bridge position. Now just hold it here and breathe. Check that the knees are parallel. Tripods are still on. You've got your ribs to hips connection, but really long, we're thinking long line through the whole front of the body. So you may even feel a bit of a stretch through the front of the hips, squeezing the glutes, tucking the pelvis. So we want pubic bone to be sitting just higher than the hip bones. Rib cage closed. Inhale, and then exhale. Start to drop the rib cage down toward the mat. Keep tucking the pelvis as you roll back down through the spine, one vertebra at a time. Through your imprinted spinal position, back into neutral, inhale, and then exhale. Roll the hips back towards you, squeeze the glutes, rolling up into your shoulder bridge. Good, inhale at the top, exhale to roll back down. So just start to move in time with your breath. It's an exhale to roll up, inhale to hold, exhale to roll down, another inhale. It's moving with your breath, but don't rush. So you want to take the time to just feel the spinal articulation, imprinting, and then re-imprinting the spine. Let's do that two more times. Really pressing the feet heavily into the floor. And one more time, rolling up. And back down. So if this is enough for you through the back of the body, glutes, hamstrings in particular, just keep practicing this. Otherwise, if you need more of a challenge, roll up. And then from here, we're going to lift alternate legs. up into tabletop. And as we're doing this, we want to keep the hips nice and high, but we don't want to be dipping down. So hips are high and level. Let's do 2 more each side. Then taking note if you feel that it's easier on one side than the other, which is quite common. Last one. Inhale and then exhale to roll back down. Good. Let's do that again. Exhale to roll up. Inhale at the top, exhale to lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Keep alternating legs. Let's do 2 more each side. Still trying to stay quite relaxed through the upper body though. Head, neck, shoulders, no tension. Good, and rolling back down. And just hug the knees into the chest. We're going to bring our feet back to the floor. Hip distance apart, tripods on. I want you to reach your arms up to vertical. The fingertips reaching up toward the ceiling. Make sure you're in neutral. Make sure shoulder blades are just gently drawing down and back. Inhale, T-zone. Exhale to lower the arms down and back behind you, so you're reaching up over your head. And inhale to bring them back to vertical. Exhale to reach your arms back. Inhale to vertical. So every time we reach our arms overhead, we want to think about that ribs to hips connection to stop the rib cage from flaring, and also to stop the lower back from arching excessively. And a few more. Elbows are nice and straight. So only lower your arms back as far as you can without bending the elbows and without popping through the rib cage. Using our obliques to keep that front body connection. Good, last one. This time, as your arms come to vertical, keep the arms moving forward to reach past the ankles. We're going to add an upper body curl, ribs to hips. We lower the upper body, arms to vertical, then reach the arms back overhead. And arms to vertical. Keep reaching forward with the arms. Curl the head and shoulders up off the mat and lower down. So we exhale to lower the arms back behind. Inhale as they come to vertical, and then exhale as we curl the upper body and reach the arms forward. Inhale to lower, and exhale to reach the arms back. Inhale, arms vertical. Exhale, tuck chin to chest, curl ribs to hips, reach forward. Good. One more. Curling as high as we can. Now on the next one, as we curl the head and shoulders up off the mat, we're going to hold this position. Now I want you to start pulsing. So think of the arms and the fingertips traveling forward rather than the arms beating up and down. They're traveling forward, reaching toward the ankles. Knees are still parallel. Eye gaze is between the knees, chin tucked in. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And lower the upper body. So we're going to do the same sequence with some different leg positions and less repetition. So let's set up our neutral position. T-zone is tight, so lift left leg to tabletop, arms to vertical. So that whole sequence with left leg at tabletop. So exhale to lower the arms down and back. And reach back up to vertical. 2 more. ribs to hips as the arms reach back. Inhale, vertical. Exhale to reach. Now on this next one, we add the upper body curl, reaching forward. Good, reaching back. Arms to vertical. Curl head and shoulders. And one more rep. Vertical, reach. Now hold the upper body curl and start to pulse. And just notice, hopefully you haven't hitched one hip up a little higher toward the ribs. Just check again that the pelvis is level and neutral. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the upper body. I'm going to change legs. So let's lift our right leg up to tabletop. T-zone is tight. Arms to vertical. And exhale to lower the arms down and back. Inhale, vertical. Exhale, reach the arms back. Inhale to vertical. Just one more. Drawing ribs to hips. Good. Now add the upper body curl. Reach forward. Inhale. Exhale, reach back. Inhale, vertical. Exhale to curl and reach. And again, last one. On the next one, we hold the curl and pulse. And reaching forward with the arms, drawing ribs closer to the hips with every one. And 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the upper body. One more time through, this time with both legs at tabletop. So T-zone nice and tight. Lift both legs to tabletop. We're going to squeeze the knees together this time. Arms to vertical. As you exhale, lower the arms down and back. Inhale, vertical. Exhale, lower. Really drawing ribs to hips. Flattening the lower abdominals down toward the spine. This time, add your upper body curl, reach forward, squeeze the knees together. Inhale to lower. Exhale, reach back behind you. Inhale, vertical. Exhale, curl. Inhale, lower. This one we hold. Squeeze the knees, squeeze the ankles together, and pulse. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the upper body, one leg at a time, back down onto the mat and hug the knees into the chest. And coming into a side lying position. A little bit of side lying glute work. So with our perfect side lying position, I'm actually going to bend my bottom arm today. It's where I need to be. Ideally, if the shoulders are good, I want you to reach your arm out nice and long, and you can just rest your head on your bicep. Or if that doesn't feel terribly comfortable, you can also grab a small towel and just pop it underneath your head as well to bring you into what should feel like a neutral position for you. We're going to bend our knees, bring the knees to the front of the mat. We've got about a 45-degree angle in the hip, give or take. And I want your heels to be in line with the tailbone. You're going to stick your bottom out ever so slightly, and all that does is just bring you into neutral and just ensures that you're not tucking the pelvis under, that's all. So we're in neutral. We're going to press the top hip away from the top rib. Inhale, T-zone, shoulder blades drawing down and back. Exhale to open the top knee, and inhale to lower. Exhale to open, inhale to lower. So every time we open the top knee, think about using the glute, the top glute, to perform that movement. So a little squeeze of the top glute, And then also pressing the top heel into the bottom heel just before we lift. So you can open the knee as wide as you want or as high as you want, but without rocking the pelvis backwards and forwards. So no movement through the pelvis. Exhale to open. 2 more. Now on this one, hold the knee open and then watch the change. We bring knee to knee, toes to toe, knee to knee, toe to toe. So you want to feel the rotation of the thigh bone in the hip socket. Now once you're able to keep the pelvis quite still, start to speed up. So the speed is up to you. It's got to be with control, that's all. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Close the knee. Let's do that again. Clams first. Exhale to open. Inhale to lower. Exhale to open. Inhale to lower. A little squeeze of the top glute. Press the top heel into the bottom heel. Got our ribs to hips connection. 2 more. Last one, hold the knee up, knee to knee, toe to toe, knee, toe, knee, toe. T-zone tight. And 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Close the knee. One more time through. Exhale, open the top knee. Inhale, lower. Exhale, open and lower. So hopefully you're starting to feel that now through the top glute. Let's do 3 more. And 2. Last one, hold the knee up, knee to knee, toe to toe, a little quicker. You choose the speed. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Close the top knee and come up onto the bottom elbow. We're going to move our knees back slightly. So this time we've got a straight line through the front of the body. Knees, hips, shoulders, straight line. Elbow, bottom elbow is underneath the shoulder. Shoulder blades drawing down and back. And just resting your arm along the top leg. As we exhale, we're going to lift the hips up off the mat. Now from this position here, if you need to make any little adjustments, I think I just need to move my elbows slightly. Just take a moment to make those adjustments so that you're in your perfect position. Now, if this is enough for you, stay right here. Otherwise, we're going to extend the top leg out nice and long. We're going to reach through the toes, kneecap is pointing forward. I'm going to lift and lower the top leg. Exhale to lift. Another option, you can take your arm to vertical. Keep lifting the hips up away from the mat. Squeezing the glutes. So you'll start to feel this through the bottom side glute. Looks like it's just abdominal, side abdominal, obliques, doesn't it? But you're going to feel it through the glutes as well. So that's good, that's normal. And 4, don't rush it. 3, 2, and 1. Bending the top knee in, lowering the hip to the floor. Other side. Let's find our side lying position. Knees forward, heels in line with the tailbone. I'm going to press the top hip away from the top rib. Shoulder blades drawing down and back. Inhale, T-zone. Exhale to open the top knee. Inhale to lower. Exhale to open. Inhale to lower. So remember that little squeeze of the top glute just before we open. It helps with the mind-muscle connection. We're using the correct muscles. And then pressing the top heel down into the bottom heel again just before we start to open the knee. That can often help with activation as well. Let's do 3 more. And 2. This time hold the knee up, knee to knee, toe to toe, knee, toe, knee, toe. So that rotation in the hip socket. And 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Close the knee. Let's do that 2 more times. Exhale to open. Inhale to lower. Exhale, open. Inhale, lower. And we've got 3 more. You can start to challenge yourself by trying to open the knee a little higher. But remember, only as high as you can without rocking the pelvis back. And on the next one, hold the knee open. Knee to knee, toe to toe, knee, toe. You control the speed, but keep it controlled. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Close the knee. 1 more time through. Exhale, open. Inhale, lower. Exhale, open. So last few, just check your alignment, check your spinal position. Shoulder blades still drawing down and back. Good. Hold the knee open. Knee to knee. Toe, knee, toe. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Close the knee. Come up onto the elbow. We're going to move our knees back. Straight line through the front of the body, shoulders, hips, knees, elbow underneath the shoulder. Inhale, T-zone, exhale to lift. And again, if you need to make those little adjustments, just do that. Your option, either stay right here, if this is enough for you. Think of your perfect spinal position, ribs to hips. If you need more of a challenge, extend the top leg out, kneecap pointing forward, reach through the toes. Option to take the arm to vertical. Exhale, lift the top leg. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift and lower. I'm going to keep neck in line with spine. Shoulders down away from the ears. Good, no rush. Really reaching through the toes. And just a few more. Let's make that 2 more from now. Good, last one. And bending the top knee in, hips back down, and sitting up. Let's have a really quick glute stretch just before we move on to our back work. So we'll cross ankle over knee. From here, we're going to keep the hips on the mat. And then just take a moment to press that knee away from your chest. Lift up nice and tall through the spine. And then we can start to add some intensity if we need to. So you can bring your hips and your heel a little closer together. One more breath in and out. And other side. Crossing ankle over knee. Lifting up through the chest. Pressing that knee away from the chest. And then bring heel and hips a little closer together if you need to. Perfect. Coming coming down onto your stomach. We're going to reach our arms down beside us. We'll have palms facing up, resting your forehead on the mat. So your chin is tucked in, really lengthening through the back of the neck. Also lengthen through the legs as well. They're lengthened, just a little bit of energy going through the toes. Nothing too crazy though. We're going to tuck the pelvis under, like you're pressing your pubic bone in toward the mat, lifting the lower abdominals up away from the mat. Then from here, all I want you to do is squeeze shoulder blades down and back, and then reach the fingertips down toward the ankles. And then just relax. So shoulder blades down and back, reach the fingertips down toward the ankle, and relax. So keeping the attention through the shoulder blade area, and relax. Just do that a few more times. Do you want to feel the upper body working, the upper back, I should say. But now make sure you're still tucking the pelvis under as well. Reaching the fingertips and relax. One more time. Reaching and relax. So we'll reset everything. I'm going to add on, make it slightly more challenging. I'm going to inhale to lift the head and shoulders ever so slightly off the mat. Reach the fingertips down toward the ankles. And now from here, we turn palms down, turn the palms up, palms down, palms up. Keep reaching down toward the ankles. And now let's make sure that it's not just the wrists that are flicking over. It's not just from the elbows, it's the whole arm from the shoulder joint. Palms up, palms down, palms up, palms down. Still reaching, still scooping the lower abdominals. So it doesn't look like much, but there's a lot going on here. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And lower the upper body. Just resting on one cheek. I'm going to do one more set with the option to make it a little bit more challenging. We're just going to lift the chest and shoulders and head slightly higher. But we are still going to keep neck in line with spine and eye gaze down toward the mat. Palms facing up. Lifting the lower abdominals, tuck the pubic bone into the mat. Inhale to lift. You choose the height. Reaching the fingertips down. Shoulder blades drawing down and back. And start to rotate the arms. You can lift the arms a little higher as well. Don't lose the reach though. Continually reaching back. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the upper body. Just taking one cheek to the floor and resting. Bring the hands next to the shoulders. Pressing up, sitting back onto the heels. Just coming into your rest position. So forehead can be resting on the mat or not, that's up to you. Elbows can be on the mat. Knees can be as wide as they need to be, or they can be quite close together. And coming up onto all fours. And then spin back around. Take a seat. I'm going to finish off with just some partial rollback variations, just for our last few minutes. So let's sit up nice and tall on the sit bones. Knees are bent. If your ankles allow, I'm going to try to keep the feet flat on the mat. If they do lift slightly, it's not a deal breaker, but try to be even through both sides of the body. So if one foot needs to lift, just lift the other one so that you're even. Hands just behind the knees. You're going to use the hands to press gently into the legs to help lift the spine. Eye gaze forward, shoulder blades join down and back. As you exhale, I just want you to roll back off the sit bones by tucking the pelvis under. It's a really small movement at the moment. Inhale, then exhale to restack the spine. Pressing hands into the back of the knees. Exhale, roll back off the sit bones, scoop the lower abdominals, draw them in. Good, and restack. 2 more like that. Exhale, tuck, curl, scoop the lower abdominals in, and restack. Last one. This time, hold that position there. So you're curling pubic bone up toward the belly button. Might even feel a nice stretch through the lower back. We want to create a nice C curve through the whole spine. If you need to leave your arms where they are for a little bit of assistance, that's fine, leave them there, otherwise reach them forward. We're reaching forward through the fingertips. And just breathe. If you want to make it more challenging. Firstly, tuck the pelvis a little more. So scoop under just a little bit more. And then, if you want to, lean back a little further. But I want you to get that really good tuck of the pelvis first. Don't just automatically lean back. I want you to scoop and tuck the lower abdominals. Still breathing. Now start to pulse forward and back, tiny, tiny movement. Can you tuck a little more? Scoop the lower abdominals. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Cross the arms across the chest. Tiny little rotations. Pelvis is staying completely still. Have a quick look at the knees as well. So your knees should be in line with each other. So you're not watching one knee shoot forward as you rotate. Still scooping the lower abdominals. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Feel that rotation from the rib cage. Back to center. Inhale, exhale to roll back up. Perfect. Taking the soles of the feet together. And just let the knees fall out toward the mat or down toward the mat. If this is enough stretch for you, cool, stay right there. Otherwise, you can use your elbows to help press the knees down toward the mat. And if you need to, take a couple of breaths. And we'll finish our sequence with a nice cat-cow stretch. Come up onto all fours, hands underneath the shoulders, knees are underneath the hips. Starting in your neutral spinal position, crown of the head reaching forward. We're going to drop the chin to chest, press the palms into the mat, tuck the pelvis under, take the eye gaze between the knees, round the upper back. And then come back through your neutral position. Tailbone up toward the ceiling, eye gaze comes forward, sternum drops down toward the mat, and one more in each direction. Nice and slow. Breathing pattern is up to you, just nice and slow. And then last one. Back through neutral. And we are done. Thanks for joining me. We'll see you all next time. Have a great week.
Wonderful.